ladies and gentlemen, so there was some stall tactics that took place, I guess, or maybe just distraction methods and whatnot. A lot of people didn't, want to mention the fact that somebody pulled the alarm, and then everybody was talking about the fact that, nobody was talking about the fact at one point that Speaker McCarthy was making a deal with the Democrats on the side, right? Everybody got distracted because this guy over here, and I've talked about this one here. This is one of the biggest phonies in Congress, ladies and gentlemen. One of the biggest liars, warmonger. He acts like he's a peace candidate. He just gets loud and he yells and he screams. He was talking about the gun thing, saying that the Republicans are all, phonies. He got into it with Thomas Massey, but yet he'll fund Nazis into Ukraine. They'll say why? Because Putin's a madman. That's what they say. That's your excuse. The New York Times right over here. Jamaal Bowman pulls fire alarm in House office building. Yep, he did. Mr. Bowman, a Democrat, pulled the alarm ahead of a rush vote on a stopgap funding measure. 2 investigations have been opened in the incident. Representative Jamaal Bowman, Democrat of New York, pulled the fire alarm in the House Cannon office building on Saturday as his party was trying to delay a vote on a stopgap spending bill, prompting an evacuation of the building and an investigation by the Capitol Police and the House Administration Committee. The committee began an inquiry on why the alarm was triggered. Its chairman, Representative Brian Steele, Republican of Wisconsin, said in a statement, the Capitol Police said the building was briefly evacuated. An investigation into what happened and why continues, a police spokesperson, Paul Stark, says. They want to know why. The alarm, you can guess why, that's up to you. The alarm was triggered at the same time the House Democrats at the Capitol were stalling a vote on a spending measure to keep the government operating for another 45 days. Speaker Kevin McCarthy had unveiled the bill just minutes earlier, and the Democrats were scrambling to read the bill and determine whether to support it. Later in the day, the bill passed 335 to 91, with more Democrats voting for it than Republicans. By the way, it was just one Democrat that voted against it. And that one Democrat, I believe, I forgot his name. But he was upset. I saw the video. He was upset. The fact is that stopgap bill didn't have funding for Ukraine. The Democrat, he was so upset and mad that we couldn't fund Nazis that he voted against it. Mr. Bowman's chief of staff, Sarah Idrisu, confirmed in a statement on X, or Twitter, that the congressman who represents the North Bronx and parts of Westchester County had pulled the alarm, though she did not say why or whether it was intentional.
Mike Quigley?
That's the guy, Mike
Illinois?
Quigley from Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Quigley was so pissed off that the stopgap bill didn't have funding for Nazis that he said, I'm not voting for it. Even though he must have not been in the meeting where Kevin McCarthy said, don't worry, though. We'll get you a single vote up or down. And we know we have enough Republicans, and with all you Democrats, because you all, every single Democrat, support the war, we'll get it passed. And we'll get Volodymyr Green Screen Zelensky more money for his death cult. And the war machine and all your donors, all the people who have you paid off, will get their due. Don't worry about it. Screw the American people. Screw the Ukrainians. Their lives don't mean anything. Congressman Bowman did not realize he would trigger a building alarm as he was rushing to make an urgent vote. You know he was a middle school teacher, a principal?
No, I didn't know that.
Are you going to tell me that a guy where they have alarm drills all the time didn't realize that the fire alarm was going to go off when you pull it? This is the bullshit they want you to believe, ladies and gentlemen. This is how stupid they think you are. Oh, the congressman regrets any confusion. He wasn't confused. Once again, you don't have to pay a price for what you do. You're like, I'm going to be accountable for my actions. Step down and get the hell out of there, right? You guys want to sit there and you want to persecute all these J6 people for doing basically the same thing, causing, panic and whatnot. And now you're going to go and do the same thing to stop a vote and act like you didn't know what was going on? You think that we're that stupid? She declined a request to clarify the statement. Still, Republicans were quick to link the alarm to the vote on the spending bill. At a news conference after the spending measure was passed, Mr. McCarthy criticized Mr. Bowman, suggesting he set off the alarm in an attempt to obstruct proceedings. When we found that an individual elected to Congress would pull a fire alarm, that's a new low, he said. No shit. Representative Nicole Malatakis, I hope I said it right, Republican of New York, has drafted a motion to expel Mr. Bowman from the House, her office said. This is the United States Congress, not a New York City high school, Ms. Malatakis wrote on X, Twitter, to pull the fire alarm, to disrupt proceedings when we are trying to draft legislation to avert a shutdown is pathetic. Here's News 12 from the Bronx. Representative Bowman apologized for mistakenly pulling the fire alarm during House shutdown vote. Here's his statement. I got to turn to read it because it's small and I can't read it over here. This is for immediate release on September 30th, 2023. Statement from Congress Jamaal Bowman. It's got his logo up here. Jamaal Bowman, proudly serving New York's 16th Congressional District. And if you live up there, make a phone call. I want to personally clear up confusion surrounding today's event. Today, as I was rushing to make a vote, I came to the door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I am embarrassed to admit that I activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door. I regret this and sincerely apologize for any confusion this caused. How stupid do we think you are, you liar? But I want to be very clear. This was not me in any way trying to delay any vote. We already know that they wanted to delay the vote, right? We already heard that the Democrats didn't want to vote on this right away. They wanted time to read it. Some people were pissed off. They said they want to try to negotiate to get more of that Ukrainian money in there, baby. So we know they wanted to delay this vote. So stop with your BS. It was the exact opposite. I was trying to urgently get to the vote, which I ultimately did and joined my colleagues in a bipartisan effort to keep our government open. I also met after the vote with the Sergeant of Ours and the Capitol Police at their request, and I explained what had happened. My hope is that no one will make more of this than it was. My hope is that you hope it will just go away and you'll forget. You know, I am working hard every day, including today, to do my job, to do it well, and deliver for my constituents. Peace and love. Keep the fire alarm out your mouth. That over there. Keep the fire alarm out your hands. All right, so just in, Democrat Jamaal Bowman has no clue why him pulling the fire alarm is getting so much attention. Says he was just in a rush to vote. Have any of you ever accidentally pulled a fire alarm thinking it would open a door? No! Especially not a freaking middle school principal. I was literally in a rush to vote. That is all. I take responsibility for what I did. Yeah, then leave. Quit. You know. But like I said, I was just in a road to vote, and you know, the investigation will sort everything out. We'll sort everything else out.
Do you still stand by your statement that pulling the fire alarm was an accident?
You know, I don't know why this has gotten so much attention. I was literally just in a rush to go vote, man. That's all it was.
Are you afraid of any repercussions, either from leadership or from legally from Capitol Police?
I mean, listen, I take responsibility for what I did, you know, but like I said,
if you're taking responsibility for what you did, quit. And by the way, I'd like to find out who's going to primary this idiot. Can we please get somebody in there, at least get attention? You know, if we don't get him out of office because maybe the election system might not be the cleanest and they got those people in there they want to get, who knows? I don't know, whatever reason it is. Let's at least make sure that we expose this jerk for every single thing we can. Let's force him to debate, right? Get somebody on that stage to make him look like the idiot he is. Really, I don't know why he's making a big deal of this. Dude, you pulled the fire alarm when it was time to vote and you're acting like you...
in a rush to go vote, and you know, the investigation will sort everything else out.
We need to sort you out. New York Post, you got to appreciate this. Today's cover, right? Does this look like a door handle? Mr. Bowden's absurd alarm excuse exposed. And there he is. Down there. Right? I thought it would open the door. I mean, you have to be kidding me. It says fire on the thing. Donald Trump, he took to his, what is called True Social, right? Will Congressman Jamaal Bowman be prosecuted and imprisoned for the very dangerously pulling and setting off of the main fire alarm system in order to stop a congressional vote that was going on in D.C.? His egregious act is covered on tape. A horrible display of nerve and criminality. It was a very dangerous obstruction of an official proceeding, the same as used against our J6 prisoners. Actually, his act may have been worse. He must suffer the same fate? When will his trial begin? Well, Donald, they got too busy trying to freaking go after you so hard. They're going to let these guys walk. And these guys never paid the price. And it is. He's right. It's the same fate right there. The same used against our J6 prisoners. Obstruction of an official proceeding. That's what they charged them for. Obstruction for an official proceeding. That's what they're in jail for years now. A lot of them. Why doesn't Jamaal Bowman face the same criticism and the same rules? I mean, why is he getting away scot-free? So here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's like, I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. I want to talk about Jamaal Bowman. Like, she didn't want to talk about what they wanted to talk about. She wanted to talk about this.
No, I want to talk about Jamaal Bowman pulling the fire alarm. Capitol Police are questioning him right now because it's on video. That he violated the exact same law that January 6th defendants are being prosecuted for every single day. He violated the exact same law, interrupting an official proceeding, and by pulling a fire alarm. It's on video, and the Capitol Police have the information.
Did you see?
This is outrageous. They have it on video.
Have you seen the video?
I haven't seen the video yet, but I'm going to be demanding it. I'm demanding that the Department of Justice prosecute him the same way they prosecuted January 6th defendants. It's the exact same law. Exact same law. This is outrageous. He's a Democrat representative. Here's what happened. Catherine Clark, the whip, called the motion to adjourn, and within, I don't know, a few minutes, it was literally right after that, Jamaal Bowman pulls a fire alarm while the vote was happening. You guys, this is unprecedented. The Democrats will do anything to make sure it's shut down because billions of dollars are not going to their favorite country, Ukraine. I mean, you guys really, so Olivia Beavers has tweeted it. This is the law. This is the law. Otherwise obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding or attempts to do so.
I've met with J6 parents of children who went in, husbands and wives of people who went in. People who are under this law that she's talking about, that she's reading right now, have been sitting and rotting in a prison, right? Because they want to make an example of it. They wanted to lie and make it actually, and make you believe that it wasn't actually trying to, a bunch of idiots were trying to overturn the government. I don't want to say they're idiots because that's wrong. Those people who went in there went a little bit crazy, and there should be a price to pay, but not the crazy persecution they're going through. And once again, if you're one of these Democrats who compare J6 to Pearl Harbor or 9/11, right? The same law right here Mr. Bowman broke. Why doesn't he have to face the same fire? Why does he get away scot-free? Oh, we know there's rules for thee, but not rules for me when you're a Democrat.
Shall be fined under this title or in prison not more than 20 years or both. This is the law that January 6th defendants are being locked up, they're rotting in jail, and they're being prosecuted every single day. Non-violent offenders are being put in jail for this.
You took a video over there. Did you happen to catch like a part of it, or I saw you posted a video on Twitter? Did you catch a part of it?
Look, it's being reported everywhere. You can ask go ask the Capitol Police about it. I'm demanding.
What is this idiot? What is he trying to do? Oh, you haven't seen it. You can't make an opinion on it. I mean, you have people out there who are pretending to be reporters, right? And all they're doing is standing for the establishment, showing that they could be a little good soldier. We know he pulled the alarm. He admitted he pulled the alarm. We have videos of him pulling the alarm. Shut up,
but
you idiot.
But have you seen it?
What's that?
But did you see it? But were you there?
Not with my...
But...
Well, not with my very own eyes. But with your eyes, Misha, I saw it. I mean, look, I'm...
In the video, House admin has already reported it. They have seen the video.
Oh, yeah.
It's
like
just
an idiot.
Unbelievable. He's a representative breaking the law.
There it is. But of course, the Democrats always protect their own, right? Republicans do it too as well. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, but we see this little split with the Freedom Caucus and whatnot. And, you know, it's what we wanted from the left. There is no left in America, not in our politics. They're all warmongers, pro-censorship, anti-civil liberty idiots. But here is AOC, and what is she going to do? Guess who she's going to pivot to? But as soon as I saw her face there, I'm like, I bet she's going to mention George Santos. Here we go.
There was an interesting moment over the weekend when your New York colleague, Congressman Jamaal Bowman, and he's under investigation for this now after Capitol Police say he pulled a fire alarm in one of the House office buildings. Democrats were trying to delay a final vote on the bill. There he is pulling the fire alarm. He says it was an accident. He thought pulling the alarm would open a door based on the fact that the doors to his right there were locked, and there was a sign that he said he was, I think someone said it was confusing. I'll be honest, it doesn't really make sense to me, his explanation. Have you talked to him? What's going on there?
I mean, listen, I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about the government's about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's going down. The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
So pull the thing that says fire on it. Dude, he was a middle school principal. They would have fire alarm drills like 2 or 3 times a year. That guy, especially, he should know what a fire alarm looks like more than any member in Congress. But here we are, AOC.
Did you pull the fire alarm?
So what I am here to say is that House administration and U.S. Capitol Police and Jamaal Bowman are an active, and he's fully participating in saying there was a misunderstanding. But what I do think is important to raise is the fact that Republicans, representatives like Nicole Malliotakis and others, immediately moved to file motions to censure, motions to expel, before there has even been conversations that are finished to even see if there was a misunderstanding here.
What misunderstanding? Obstruction of an official proceeding is jail. You can be jailed up to 20 years, right? These are the same rules that you and all your colleagues are holding against the J6ers, right? Now you want special attention for a guy who knows better?
But what they did do, while they did that, what they did not do was to commit to the same when George Santos was actually found guilty after a thorough investigation of 13 federal charges. He's indicted on everything from wire fraud to actual lying of House investigators. And they have been buddying up and giggling with him on the House floor, and they are protecting someone who has lied to the American people, lied to the United States House of Representatives, lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule. Give me a break. And so the idea that there is somehow any kind of equivalence to someone who is actively trying to clear up a situation that he himself admits he's embarrassed. He released a statement last night. He apologized. And they are protecting someone who has not only committed wire fraud, not only defrauded veterans, not only lied to congressional investigators, but is openly gloating about it, is absolutely humiliating to the Republican caucus.
What's humiliating is that you're acting like a 7-year-old. Don't look at me. Johnny did that instead. I mean, Whoopi.
Oh, yay.
Oh, Whoopi. Peddles the wild conspiracy theories attempting to justify why Representative Jamaal Bowman pulled the fire alarm. I would be pressed. I would have pressed whatever I had to press to get the door open because I know you would expect me not to be there to vote.
It is quite possible that he was trying to get there.
It is not possible.
Not panic, but you know, if you're not looking, because there's a door that's normally open, you just go and you press a button. You know,
Not the fire alarm button. Like, I'm so scared of that.
Well, I don't know because I don't know what I haven't seen the fire alarm button, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was a like fire exit only sign. It was like active.
Because you have to break glass to to get to the button. Well, so I don't know.
I don't know. It seems pretty fire alarmy to me.
I don't know. It just looks like a button. I can't see the button.
I think he could. He was a little closer. Did anybody in this audience pull up a fire alarm to get out of a 7th grade test?
Brian, raise your hand. Yeah, we know you did, Brian.
I guess my point is, you know, if you're not sure, then put it up find out what it was, as opposed to just saying, you know, you did this to do that. Because when people pull stunts, I tend to think that they may be more full of it than he is.
What it is, Whoopi, is that you play team sports. Remember, we used to say this all the time? We don't play team sports. You play team sports. And you're going to try to actually justify a grown-ass man pulling a fire alarm and saying that he thought it would open the door. A middle school principal, nonetheless, who went through many fire drills plenty of times before. I mean, it's ridiculous. Glenn Greenwald, prosecuting Congressman Bowman would sow divisions in the United States and would play directly into Putin's hands. Kremlin-linked accounts are found to be behind calls for his prosecution. Experts say Putin's goal is to create conflict. Coming soon on MSNBC. It was Russian disinformation. That's why that was pulled. When people in our government like Jamaal Bowman that vote for a war and don't even know where it is, Representative Jamaal Bowman said he supports the flow of money and aid to Ukraine to defeat the madman Putin. Remember this? But confessed he has no idea what the Donbas and Crimea are. And this is something that's very important. We've talked about this before. And then he could just say, Putin's a madman. And he could claim that he's anti-war. You don't know where Crimea is. You don't know where the Donbas is. You don't know the people of the Donbas are ethnically speaking Russians. You don't know that 14,000 of them were killed by the Azov battalion. Right? Funded weapons from the West. Little children. You sit there and you scream that kids are getting killed and you want to have gun control in America, but you want to send money and guns and weapons to Nazis. While little kids are living in their basement eating pickled goods because they're getting bombarded from a pro-Western proxy country, a puppet government, and you're okay funding them. Dude, you're the biggest kind of scum, Jamaal Bowman.
What do you want us to discuss?
The Donbas and Crimea?
I don't know if I know much about that. I need to get into the details and learn some more about that.
That's a lie. You know exactly what it is. You're lying. And if you don't know what it is, you have no business being in Congress and funding a goddamn war. Big ups to the person who asked him this too, by the way.
What do you want us to discuss?
The Donbas and Crimea?
I don't know if I know much about that. I need to get into the details and learn some more about that. Yeah.
You know what those are?
No. Tell me. What? Educate me.
Well, let me ask you this. What's your opinion on the war for Ukraine? Do you support U.S. aid to the war in Ukraine?
Yes.
Why do you support that?
Because Putin's a madman, and we got to stop him. But I'm anti-war in general.
Okay.
In general.
All right. But so just so you know, the Donbas and Crimea, those are the central regions in Ukraine, which were in dispute and which started the war over those regions.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Good to meet you.
Some of the biggest scum. Misha, do you think that he made a mistake when he pulled the alarm?
Well, Pasta, haven't you ever been so excited to vote that you did the fire alarm and then you busted the fire extinguisher out and just hasn't that ever happened to you?
It's happened to me once or twice before, but there was no video back in the days to catch me doing it.
So you lucked out.
What's he here? He's with a fireman. Oh, he's with the whole fire crew over here as he's talking at a school. Oh, a guy who hang out with the fire department doesn't know what a fire alarm is.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Tampa, Boca Raton, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, San Diego, Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, and Levittown, New York. Wow, that's a lot of dates. See you there.